Hey everyone, thanks for joining me today. My name is Dylan, and I'll be showing you how to stand out on PeppConnect. Let's go ahead and get started. Now, I think it's beneficial to start off by saying what PeppConnect is from the beginning so that we're all starting off on the same page. So when you arrive at PeppConnect, you'll notice it's a really familiar platform with a main feed flowing down the center, recent jobs, new members, and Pepperdine social media accounts going down the side. And on the left side, you'll notice our menu items, the directory, mentoring jobs, photos, groups, events, and business directory. So a lot of Waves make their profiles, and at this point, they notice that it operates much like a LinkedIn profile and causes them to ask themselves, well, what is unique about PeppConnect? How do I maximize my time on it, and what's in it for me? So I'm going to go ahead and move back to the presentation to continue. First and foremost, you can only have a PeppConnect profile if you're a student, alumnus, professor, or staff of Pepperdine. And in the last 18 months, we've brought together a community of over 6,000 Waves to participate. Alumni living in over 60 countries around the world have made a PeppConnect profile, and they represent over 4,500 companies. Many of those companies are the most recognizable brands and firms in the world. But more importantly, I'll be showing you how to access them, because within those 6,000 users, there are over 3,500 alumni and professors who are looking to help the next generation of Waves. Then, since allowing our students onto the platform about 6 months ago, over 1,300 students and recent grads have shared that they're also looking for help, looking to get better, and looking to get to the next level. Now, you might notice that for every one student who's looking for help on PeppConnect, they have on average 3 alumni lined up who would be willing to help. And see, the beauty of that is that these alumni who are willing to help can be from any of the 5 schools at Pepperdine. So your Rolodex, your network, is no longer just limited to the school that you attended. Just a great platform and opportunity that we have for you today. And so if that wasn't enough, we've gone ahead and uploaded 100,000 alumni records into the PeppConnect directory and have made them accessible and searchable by anyone with a profile. So today, you truly have the power of the Pepperdine network in your hands. But we say this is only the beginning. And in fact, this is just setting the stage to actively help 1,000 alumni and students find mentorship and coaching. We'll be reaching out to every alumni and student who's interested in being a mentor or finding a mentor to participate. You set your own terms and mentorships, and the university will provide help every step of the way. So with that common understanding and vision for what PeppConnect is and what it can do for you, let's explore some ways which you can stand out on PeppConnect, because this user experience, although seemingly familiar at first, is distinctly different than other sites that you might have profiles on. There's certain things that you're going to want to be doing to get most out of the time that you spend creating your profile and the time that you spend on the site. So first things first. Your profile. If you have a profile that's lacking a profile picture, has very scarce information in the summary, not too much more information after that, you're going to be missing out on a tremendous opportunity to meet the alumni, professors, and students that you want to reach to get to the next level or to help. On the other hand, if you have an up-to-date profile that has enough information to help folks get to know you, then you're bringing your best self and putting yourself in a position to succeed from the onset. Because a lot of times, this is really the only information that people are going to see when they search you in the directory. A quick extra credit point would go to the alumni and students who begin to establish their personal brands on their profile. So what's a personal brand? Well, establishing your personal brand means establishing yourself as an expert and a resource in any given area. So it doesn't have to be terribly as academic as it sounds, but instead you can use your profile to highlight some of your interests, even your expertise and experiences, and even your ambitions, and make yourself available for others. This is going to have the added benefit of helping alumni, professors, and students who see your messages and posts get to know you through your profile. And because of this, especially if you're willing to help or if you're looking for help, a strong profile is essential, vital even. Let's navigate back to PeppConnect to show you where you can edit your profile. You can click on the drop-down next to your profile picture to find the page that allows you to edit your profile. Wonderful. So now that we've given our profile a makeover, let's look at some more public ways in which we can stand out on PeppConnect. So naturally, the Waves who stand out most on PeppConnect are those who let others know that they're willing to help. It's attention grabbing, it's inspiring, and it's a step beyond just checking the box to say that you're willing to help when you first make your profile. I've gone ahead and pinned a message at the top of our main post just to show you what a good post looks like when you're looking for help. Now, as I arrive back on the main feed, here we have Carlton, and he's just a rock star. He's calling attention, letting students and alumni know he's willing to help. You see he's a family man, and he even gives you a way to reach him. If I was interested in mentorship, I might just click on his profile and take him up on his offer. Messages like these encourages and empowers those who are looking for help to reciprocate and participate. You have the opportunity to establish this culture at Pepperdine and on PeppConnect. So let's continue on to standing out when you're looking for help. When you're looking for help, it's helpful to position your messaging from a growth perspective. A message that says, I'm looking to get better at this certain skill that I'm developing because this gets alumni and students considering if they want to collaborate with you. Rather than working from a deficit position and saying that you're not good or you're lacking at a certain skill and need to get better at it quickly. This sort of messaging might make alumni feel like it's a big time-consuming task at hand and cause them to think twice before reaching out. So, students and alumni who stand out when they're looking for help definitely take this strengths position in their messaging. So let's look at some components of a good post when you're looking for help. Similar to those who are willing to help, you should share what you need help with. Talk about the kind of support you're looking for. As always, be yourself and give people an opportunity to get to know you. Being that this is an online experience, Waves are naturally going to be looking for more ways to get to know you, so feel free to be yourself, even though PeppConnect does have an air of professionalism to it. Describe what kind of mentor you're looking for. It's going to help alumni and faculty who are looking at these posts get to know you and put it on their radar in case you ever decide to reach out in the future. Finally, you want to include ways to reach you. I also have tidbits of information saying that, remember, no one shares the same journey, and no story is too small for PeppConnect, because it's important that you're confident in what you have to offer, both when you're looking for help and when you're offering help. Alumni and students who are empowered and are looking for help are ultimately going to determine the success of the PeppConnect Mentor campaign, since it's a tool to help you, but it isn't automatic, so the power is in your hands. So now that we have our profile updated and we've gone ahead and used the main feed and groups to share these messages, instead of sitting by idly and passively waiting for connections we're looking for to come to us, let's go ahead and take a proactive approach and use some of the best resources that PeppConnect has to offer. The first is the directory. At the center of every great connection on PeppConnect is the directory. It's the most powerful tool that PeppConnect has to offer because it provides you with access to the waves that are going to help you get to your next level in your career and in your life. It effectively puts the power of the Pepperdine network in your hands. And if you're like me and you're committed to improving yourself and truly standing out on PeppConnect, you're going to take the initiative to find these alumni and these professors. And it's here that the user experience becomes distinctly different from using other sites that you might have profiles on. For instance, on LinkedIn you might have over 500 connections but not go very deep with any of them. On the contrary, on PeppConnect, it's unlikely that you'll have anywhere near those number of connections you have on LinkedIn, but the connections that you do establish will go much deeper so that you can learn from their experiences and expertise, or that so you can effectively share yours. So let's go ahead and move to the directory so I can effectively show how to connect with the alumni you're looking for. You can find the directory button directly to the left of your main feed. When you arrive at the directory, there's a few things that you should notice. At the top is the number of registered users. You'll notice today we have over 6,000 waves here for you. Across the top are a couple of pre-designated filters that can show you the directory in different ways. You can view people in your class, which is going to pull students and alumni from across all the 5 schools who graduate the same you did same year you did or the same year you will. The next section over shows waves in your area. I'll dive a little bit into the map function in just a second. Following that, the mentor section quickly shows you all the alumni and professors who are willing to help. And finally, the Pepperdine database is where the 100,000 alumni records that I referenced at the beginning have been uploaded and now are searchable by anyone with a profile. So before I even arrive at the directory, I'm already thinking about the type of coach or mentor that I want to meet. Let's say, for instance, you'd like to build a career in high tech. So you might search for alumni who have experience at firms that are known worldwide, like Google, Amazon, Apple, Netflix, or Facebook, and so forth. So I want to show you how to use the directory to find these folks. Let's move over here to work experience. Under company, I'll go ahead and designate Google. Maybe I want to connect with alumni who have experience there. So under affiliation, I'll select alumni. Maybe I only want to select alumni who went to the Grazia Dio Business School. So I'll go to Pepperdine School here, search for Grazia Dio, and here it is. So here, I'd like to remind you that you don't have to restrict yourself to the school that you're with. I'm just including this criteria for this exercise. Now, here we see that there are 4 alumni with profiles who have gone to Grazia Dio and have work experience at Google. These 2 results underneath the 4 who are willing to help are alumni who have been uploaded into our Pepperdine database but don't yet have a profile. Still, based on the information that we've gathered, we know that they have experience at Google, what their position was, and we see that they also went to Grazia Dio. And again, all of this is neatly delivered to you in the same way that everyone else's profiles are. Now, before we go on and select a profile, I want to point out one last powerful feature within the directory, and that's our map function. So let's go ahead and select this. So since we are looking for alumni who have experience in high tech, they'll naturally be in the Bay Area, and we can see that here. Now I'm going to go ahead and click on the blips here, and it's going to zoom me into that area. I'm going to click on one of these. And here I can find Jim. I can see his general location, and this helps me as I consider how viable this connection could be for me if I wanted to reach out. So I'm going to click on Jim's profile. And when I arrive at Jim's profile, I see that he is a CEO with over 20 years of experience in strong leadership roles. And beneath that, I see other areas of expertise, rounding out a nice, strong profile summary. Now, as I scroll through Jim's profile, I'm looking for Google. And here it is. It seems that he's been involved in a mentoring program in some ways, and knowing that I might be interested in similar things, I might go ahead and reach out to Jim as I navigate his profile. But before we go ahead and reach out to Jim, there's one last feature that I do want to point out, and that's our mentoring tab. Here we are. Let's go ahead and click on our mentoring tab. It's similar to our directory, it just has a different layout that's intended to help you to find a mentor or coach for those of you who are looking for help. These are alumni who have indicated that they're willing to help, and again, beneath them we see a map function showing us mentors in our area immediately if that's what we're most interested in. We can also see some of the job functions, industries, and suggested mentor. Again, this is a very intuitive interface that's here for any user on PeppConnect. So again, it's going to be very important that whether you're willing to help or that you're looking for help, that you take these resources and opportunities into your own hands and put all the pieces together so that you can take control of your Pepperdine network with PeppConnect and experience it in any way that you'd like. Now that we're getting some traction going, we've updated our profile, we've taken the public approach and have written messages on the feed and in groups, We've successfully put it all together by navigating the directories and have even found some alumni who might be willing to help. So this asks the next question. When I arrive at an alum's profile, how do I connect with them? How am I going to reach out? So let's explore all the ways that you can connect when you find the right alum, professor, or student. Let's go back to Jim's profile. When I arrive at his profile, I'm going to see several different buttons. What this message button here is going to do is it's going to allow me to write a quick message that's going to go to Jim's inbox. Nothing too complicated here. Feel free to use this anytime. Though, what I might suggest when first reaching out and making these connections is to click this Request Help button. Now this is similar to the message button, but here you have the ability to select the ways in which Jim has offered to help and include them as a subject for the message that will arrive in his inbox. It's going to give him a nice little neat summary letting him know why you're reaching out. You should also be sure to include a quick message introducing yourself because we want to be sure that you're giving yourself the best chance to get a response and make the connections. As always, remember the points that go into a good message. Beyond this Request Help button, we have arguably the most important button on someone's profile, the Request Mentoring button. Everyone who clicks this and is accepted by their mentor will immediately be included in Pepperdine's 1000 Mentoring Connections campaign. And on top of that, both the mentors and the mentees are going to be supplied with resources for how to build a successful and gratifying mentorship for both parties. With all this, we want you to realize that Pepperdine is tremendously dedicated to connecting you as a student or an alum in these meaningful relationships. So as we move along, we notice that Jim has included some of his personal contact information here. Though I might hold off on using the phone call until I've reached out to Jim in other ways. This will give me a chance to introduce myself and let him know that I'm interested in connecting. As I scroll up, I want to highlight a few features that some might overlook. And the first is the ability to schedule a meeting with Jim. I'm going to go ahead and click on this calendar icon here. And this function is very intuitive, and you can use it to send a calendar invite to Jim's email, inviting him to a call or a coffee along with a message. Again, this is going to be delivered as a calendar invite via email to his inbox. So this is just another way to connect with him. But again, I would focus on the Request Help and Request Mentoring before moving to these functions. Similarly, for those who are willing to help students and alumni, there will be students and alumni's profiles who you come across who are looking for help, who have similar boxes to Request Help and Request Mentorship, but instead they'll say Offer Help and Offer Mentorship, and they operate in very much the same way. Nothing too complex there. I just want to give you some insight on what those buttons do when you click them. One last feature here is the LinkedIn. If you go ahead and click on this button, it will take you directly to Jim's LinkedIn profile, and you can connect with him as you'd like on LinkedIn. Again, another very powerful feature that we have for you today. But maybe the situation was that you arrived at Jim's profile, maybe not from the directory, but from a post on the main feed or in a group. Remember to always go back and provide that meaningful feedback, give them a like, or provide those comments to continue standing out and to engage with those that you're looking to connect with. Ultimately, you don't want to leave any stone unturned and want to give yourself the best opportunities to succeed and make the connection. Now, most students and alumni might be content with that. They've built a strong profile, written public messages sharing that they're looking for help or that they're willing to help. They've taken the proactive steps of navigating the directory and have even reached out to alumni. Most will be fine with that, but those of us who are viewing this webinar are bringing our best selves to PeppConnect and bringing out our most empowered selves. And we're looking for ways on how we can go the extra mile. Now, waves who post jobs, post events, and promote businesses are tapping into great ways to maximize what's already happening in their personal and professional networks in order to stand out. Posting jobs, events, and businesses are going to naturally drive people to your profile and give them just another chance to interact with you and give you another chance to make that connection. Let's navigate to the jobs board to see what that looks like. Here you see that PeppConnect has over 200 jobs for you today, and you can filter these based on any of the criteria, similar to the directory. Maybe you just want to search for positions in California. So I'm going to go ahead and type that into the box here, designate California, and we notice that we have 5 opportunities. I'm going to go ahead and select the first one. Now for this position, you can see the entire job description, where it's located, but more importantly, you can see Michelle's profile. And I'm going to go ahead and click on Michelle's profile. Now, if this was a company that I was interested in applying for, I would immediately have a strong connection to somebody at that company that I can reach out to. Michelle is standing out because she's posting jobs. Just another phenomenal way to stand out on PeppConnect. Similarly, we have the Events tab. When students and alumni post events, they appear here in our Events tab. For instance, Atlas's annual conference. When I select this event, we'll notice the details about the event, along with the way to register and where the event is located. But again, more importantly is Elizabeth's profile. Now, Elizabeth seems to have a complete profile with a strong summary. She's offering to help, she's offering mentoring, she's even included some of her social media at the top. So a lot of other information is here also. And again, if I had the intention of maybe going to this conference or learning more about it, I would immediately be able to reach out to Elizabeth, and she would be a strong connection and a strong point of contact. Another phenomenal way. Lastly, we have the business directory. Business directory is a phenomenal way for alumni to showcase their business and promote them. And they would appear here. This is a quick demo. Here is where a company can include a promotion that they're offering, and you can also select to read more. Here you land on the business's dedicated page. You can see some information about the business, information about the offer, but most importantly, you can connect with the business owner directly. This is within the business directory, one of the most powerful features in PeppConnect, which will have a separate webinar just for it. So let's continue. One of the last ways to stand out on PeppConnect is by leading groups. Students and alumni can create an unlimited amount of groups and establish smaller communities within our larger PeppConnect network. So let's go over to our Groups tab. Here we'll find groups that Pepperdine has established as we were launching PeppConnect that are ready to be taken over by alumni and students in these industries. Now, if anyone who's viewing this webinar would like to take charge and be administrators of any of these industry groups, feel free to reach out. Maybe you've built a career in the education industry or the legal industry and want to see the waves in that industry flourish and build a network. We can make you an admin so that you can spur those conversations and broaden your own network. Of course, the university will provide the resources to effectively run a group, so this is another tremendous opportunity to get plugged in. Again, if there isn't a group that you're interested in running currently, remember that you can always create a new group, and we can walk you through creating groups to establish that community on PeppConnect, again, in a separate webinar. If you feel like you'd like to be an admin, feel free to reach out to peppconnect@pepperdine.edu anytime and let us know what group you're interested in leading. Finally, the most important way to stand out is being consistent. This often overlooked quality usually makes all the difference in when trying to stand out. So go ahead and put everything that you've learned into practice, not just once and not just twice, but consistently, and watch your Rolodex and your network grow. So again, my name is Dylan, and this is how to stand out on PeppConnect. I hope you've learned a lot. Thanks, and until next time, take care.